Hello, and welcome to A Pair of Dice Lost podcasting channel. My name is Brendan. My pronouns are he, him, and today I am joined by...
Hey there, guys. My name is Tyler. Pronouns are he, him. I'm going to be playing Riki, the fire-aspected street exorcist.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christina. I will be playing Elion. My pronouns are she, her, and Elion's pronouns are they, them. They are a water-aspected investigator.
Hi, everyone. My name's Cody. Pronouns are he, they, and I play Amalar Divine, the air-aspected shady businessman.
Hi, my name is Britt, and I play Resh Ferris. My pronouns are she, her, as well as Ferris's. She is a wood-aspected dragon-blooded who has a familiar named Zeke, who is a ferret, and she's kind of a performer, petty theft.
And this is Exalted, like a dragon-blooded.
Howdy gang, Brendan here with some interesting facts about the last episode. The reveal of the Madam of the Bountiful Bear being an abyssal was actually meant to be a reveal for Act 2 or 3. But due to Divine's incredible established fact roll that got him past all the detection traps Sinis Sabrine set up, I let him find out about her nature early. Because of this, I was a little underprepared for the combat that followed, but one of the things I've noticed in running Exalted 3rd is that combat can sometimes swing very easily in the PC's favor, especially when they outnumber their enemies. This, of course, will have some rippling effects later down the episode pipeline. I wanted to just kind of let you all know that, because normally Dragon-Blooded versus like an Abyssal or a Solar or something like that is a much bigger deal, but in this case, that specific Abyssal was meant to be more of a social manipulator that would have slowly kind of messed up Divine's plans throughout the rest of the series if they hadn't been noticed. In this episode, we did have a few issues with our recording software cutting out some of Elion's lines, as well as noise suppression software having a little fit of its own. I've done my best to edit around this, but sometimes you might hear the beep of Discord or the clicking of mouse buttons or keyboards. Apologies in advance. On this episode, Riki wakes up and gets some falafel. The rest of the crew decide what to do with a piece of trash. Also enjoy the outtakes after the outro.
I think that it's only fair after last week that we swing the camera a little bit from the goings-on in the Bountiful Bear back to the Desert Basilisk, where Riki has spent his time recovering. Tyler, your gang left you, didn't leave you. You were still recovering from a pretty bad wound. As I recall, last time that we had you here, Riki was snoring and kind of coming in and out of consciousness. So the group went ahead and left you up in the Ezath family's offices, right above the Desert Basilisk. Tell me, Tyler, Riki's had a hard day, all things considered. Does Riki dream or have any nightmares or anything about this?
I don't reckon much that Riki often dreams. Just because I myself don't often dream. But when I do dream, it is often very impactful, and I put a lot of stock into it. That's all I can really say in terms of, probably a pretty impactful event.
That's fair. Do you think that this was impactful enough for him to have a dream? Yeah,
probably. If anything, just to decompress the stuff in his head.
What kind of stuff would he dream about? Does his brain kind of relate it back to his time when he tried to join the Immaculate Order, or is there something else important that it might relate the recent events to?
Probably a lot of abstract, the goings on of the gang, his time with the gang, the goal he's working towards, things he's overcome, but all very abstract information that's hard to remember. You know, when you try to think of a dream after you had it and you're just losing it. You only remember bits and pieces of it.
That's fair. It's always nice to get a little bit of look into the mind of the characters that we're all playing here. So Riki wakes up having slept on what is essentially a futon with a piping hot cup of green tea that Minami had set down probably a few minutes before you woke up. He's got kind of a sixth sense about these kinds of things. knows exactly when people need food and drink, and usually what kind.
Riki's gonna like groggily wipe his face, pull himself up, reach for he's kind of like reach towards the table, not knowing what's there, find the tea and grab it without even looking. Maybe like an old person would probably burnt their hand, but fire. He takes a big gulp of the tea, and the hot gulp of tea wakes him up a little bit, and he takes a deep breath.
Ready to greet the day, our fire aspect friend here finds the tea, and also right beneath the saucer of it is a note written in flame tongue, the common language that you all speak. If I could poll the class, which one of you three would have written a note to Riki to let you guys know what you were planning on doing?
Probably me, because I'm that person.
I mean, if Ferris wants to write it, Elion probably would have.
Oh, actually,
nobody else did.
Elion writing it would probably make more sense.
Yeah. It would have been basically the going to deal with an issue at the Bountiful Bear. Hopefully no issues. Be back soon, hopefully, type of thing. It's one of those, we're going to go do this thing. Hopefully it goes well.
All right, then. Elian, if I could ask you a question, what is your rank in linguistics?
So I have 1 rank in linguistics, but I speak 4 different languages.
Oh, no. I just wanted to know what your linguistics score was, and I knew how well the handwriting was.
Is that what settles handwriting is linguistics?
Yes, it is.
Weird, but okay.
I would have guessed etiquette. Oh, not etiquette. There's another one for it.
Bureaucracy?
I guess there's not. Bureaucracy. That's what I would have guessed.
My bureaucracy is also 1, but it's also a favorite ability, if that counts for it.
To point it out, the excellency for linguistics is called Lightning Quill Mastery. So, Riki, you find in a fairly nice handwritten note. It actually even from someone has a background working with the Immaculates. This is pretty good work there on the writing. It explains where that they're all going to be. You can judge from where that it was. They probably didn't leave too long ago.
How is Riki feeling? Okay, rested, restored.
You have restored all of your essence. You healed with the help of Resh Balar last session you were here, and you also have restored at least restored 1 willpower. If you spent more than that, you would have only gotten the 1 from the good night's sleep.
Okay, I don't actually think I spent any. So
then you are at full.
Riki pounds the rest of his tea and gets up, gets himself together, gets dressed or whatever. Takes a second to re-examine the scar from the wound and remember that he has a shackle eternally on his wrist now. Or a manacle, rather. And gets himself together and yells for Minami as he gets ready to leave.
A question before you yell for Minami. Is the manacle also on the same wrist that on the same wrist as the arm that got scarred up?
It can be.
Whatever you prefer. I just know that it was the left arm that got hit.
Then yeah, probably.
Okay, I'll remember that for future little projects.
Ominous.
Anyway, so you holler for Minami. You can hear a muffled, "Hey, Riki, you awake?" As he is yelling at you from the ground floor, and you're on the 3rd.
How high up is the 3rd floor?
Probably a good 20 feet. Should I be looking up rules for falling damage, or are you going to call Lucille and hop on her to get out?
That's probably a safer bet. Yeah, I'll open a window and whistle.
It doesn't take long for your trusty steed to make her way out of an alleyway and over towards the window.
Yeah, a 10-foot drop versus a 20-foot drop is a lot better.
As a prince of the earth, I would certainly say that you could make a 10-foot drop without any kind of cause for alarm.
I'll just hop on the back of my horse and like slide down the side of the saddle so I can look through the window. Hey, asshole. I'm leaving.
All right, well, be fucking safe out there, bud.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Hey, you fucking dick. He says that, but he has a smile on his face. So you leave. I assume you're heading towards the Bountiful Bear as you were instructed by the note.
Yeah, I reckon.
It's a bit of a weird moment trying to find a way into the undermarket with a 13-foot tall horse, but you managed to make it work. You've always managed to make it work.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, how long was I sleeping for?
About 8 hours.
I would like to, if I may. Is there like a food stall or like a food cart on my way that I can get a quick snack at?
There certainly can be.
Yeah, I'll roll up on my 10-foot tall horse and buy a hot dog from a guy in a cart, or whatever the equivalent of a hot dog cart is in Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro being one of the southern cities, it's probably closer to like a gyro?
Excellent, even better.
Kebab, yeah. Actually, you know what? A kebab would probably be
even better. Mm.
So you managed.
So what I'm hearing is I stop and get some falafel.
Yeah, you stop and get some falafel. Whatever food that you prefer that is appropriate for a very warm area.
So I'll get some falafel from in a little tray, and I'll eat it with like a toothpick as I ride my horse. Does the guy selling falafel give any guff to the guy riding the 10-foot horse?
That's an excellent question. He gives you an odd look as that you approach, and it's not the horse that he's giving the odd look to, which is normally the case. It's specifically you.
Okay. Well, I'll take note of that. I guess I'll hop down off my horse. Hey, guy. I'm a bit peckish here. You got any food for sale?
Yeah, falafels. We sell falafels at this food stand.
I'll take 15.
All right. You that for you and the horse over there?
Don't worry about it. He kind of chuckles at himself as he says that, though, like joking with the guy.
I mean, your money spends just as well as anyone else's. He's kind of giving you odd looks, specifically at your hair and any other distinguishing features about you.
You all good there, friend?
Yeah, everything's fine.
You seem like you got something on your mind.
He turns his back to you and shakes his head and goes towards basically getting you those 15 falafels. If you're interested, Tyler, you are welcome to make a perception and awareness roll.
I'll give it a try. Perception and awareness. A whole 4. That's pretty good.
The 3 successes, you did notice on his collar that he's got a little insignia that looks kind of like the guild crest on it. Word must travel fast about your encounter yesterday.
Ah, I see.
After a little bit, he gets you the falafels. The small change is exchanged hands. It's not enough money that you have to really worry about it and take it from take it from the gang stock that you're all putting towards getting the getting that floor in the skyscraper. But still, money's money.
I'm gonna eat one of them right in front of the guy. How's it taste, Brendan?
It tastes like a falafel. It's good.
Yeah, that'll do, I suppose. Yeah, I like this little stand you got here, friend. Hey, what's your name?
He calls himself Syed.
Syed?
Yes.
Well, thank you there, Syed. Pretty good. You know what? Here you go. I'm gonna put 2 more coins on the table and slide it towards him. One for you. The other one's for the nose. You have a good day now. And I'll hop back on my horse and leave.
He looks confused when you say the nose.
That's fine.
He doesn't think too much of it, and he'll take a tip wherever he can get it.
Yeah, I didn't know if he knew exactly what happened, but that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, he's just a guy who sells me food. Make my way over to the sleeping bear?
The Bountiful Bear.
The Bountiful Bear. My mistake.
So, as I said, so what are you doing with the rest of the falafels? You said that you ate one. What are you doing with the other 14?
Oh, I'm eating them all.
Oh, you're eating them all.
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to make a point in front of that guy. No, I'm eating them all.
So, you make your way towards the undermarket, which is a feat in and of itself with a giant horse in tow, but you manage to do it. In doing so, once you're down there, you do notice that you are getting looks both with a little bit of chained hostility and also some looks of admiration. They're coming in at about a 50-50 rate.
Sounds good.
You've clearly made a name for yourself in the underworld, and it's starting to show.
Nice. Yeah, it's hard to miss the guy with the red hair and the horse.
Is it that, or is it the guy who stood up to Guild Factor Tanos?
Yeah, but I'm very clearly memorable. It certainly is the latter, but I'm a hard face to miss.
That you are. So, as you ride off towards this particular corner of the undermarket that your friend Amelar Divine has decided to lay roots in and start buying up literal property through, I wouldn't say nefarious means, but, well...
hostile takeovers.
Divine's a real good talker. You come to the section of 3 more or less neighboring buildings that are the Bountiful Bear on the left. Center in front of you is the Shaved Yedem, the gambling hall and place where you found your patron of magic. And to the right is the Ox Dragon Inn.
Before I go into the Bountiful Bear, I'd like to take a small siesta over to the... what was the place you said I found my magic proprietor?
You found her in the basement of the Shaved Yedem.
Right, but the Shaved Yedem had like that office lady who was really helpful and giving me all my information. I want to go check in with her and see what the fuck these chuckle fucks have gotten themselves into before I walk into a mess.
Of course.
I can't recall the name.
So you, last time, I believe, spoke with Moya, the secretary.
That is exactly the name, yes.
So you head into the Shaved Yedem, which I assume that you... so you go in. The place is surprisingly busy, actually. I assume that you tether Lucille outside for the moment.
Yeah, I'll block the road. No. Yeah, I'll tether her outside.
The place is popping off right now. You're not sure why, but something has happened to make this place a lot more busy than it was the last time that you were here. You can see the door that you entered into before that has the stairs that go up and down for the office above the building, and the basements below is kind of propped open, implying that, you know, people might be able to come in and just kind of talk to the owner at the moment, or that they're doing something.
Okay, I guess I'll go up there then.
You go through, whether because that you've made such a good impression or something else that your fellow gang members have done. The bouncer and the bartender that are near there don't stop you. They just kind of give you a quick look and then let you carry on.
Quick nod and wave. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You go up, and there is the offices where that you met Moya last time.
I'll kind of knock on the door with the end of my stick as I enter, before I enter.
It is a loud thud as the magical jade resounds against the wood. When you enter into there, you can see there are 2 women. One who that you met already, being Moya, the secretary woman, and another older, but she's got a little bit more life to her than when Divine first met her. She's got the markings of someone who you'd be surprised if she wasn't also a dragon-blooded like yourself.
All right. Well, I'm gonna, like I said, tap on the door 2 good times. Ding dong. Hello. Yeah. How y'all today? I'm gonna walk right in.
Moya looks up to you and just goes, "Oh, hello, the young lad that I saw right before the ceiling came crashing down the other day."
Yeah, not my fault, promise. But speaking of that, Those other goons that I was with, Moya, that's the name. Yes. Divine and all the other people from I'm a compatriots with them. And I hear there's something going on over at the I'm sorry, where my man is. I'm gonna look to the other lady. I'm assuming you're the owner who was out doing some errands while I came by the other day. Hi, Riki. Nice to meet you. I want to extend a hand.
She gets up and extends the hand back and shakes your hand. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Regara Salam.
It's a pleasure. I came by the other day. You were out and about. Moya gave me some help with handling a little problem I was having. I'm coming by to check on what my comrades have gotten themselves into while I was indisposed. You know what I mean? So, didn't know if you guys happen to know something going on at the Bountiful Bear.
Yes, I believe that Divine just took you and your 3 other compatriots through one of the secret tunnels that connects the buildings over to the Bountiful Bear to speak with my cousin.
Oh, good thing I came here first. Then, can you show me the way, perhaps? I guess I could just walk across the street, but I guess I took a secret tunnel for a reason. You know what I mean?
I think that Divine just wanted to test out the architecture.
Okay, that do sound like Divine, though. All right, I guess I'll just walk across the way then. Toodaloo, y'all be well. I'm gonna turn around and head back out. Nice to see you again and all that.
Moya gives I honestly want to say a slightly bashful wave.
And yeah, I'll just walk through the busy. What is this now? Is it still a brothel or is it a bar now?
The Bountiful Bear?
No, the Shaved Yedem to the Bountiful Bear.
The Shaved Yedem is a bar/casino.
Okay, and I walk across to the Bountiful Bear.
You walk across to the Bountiful Bear. You open up the door and you find that the spot where the madam would normally sit and direct people to rooms and take your money is currently vacant.
Oh, so the Bountiful Bear is the brothel.
Yes, the Bountiful Bear is the brothel.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I guess I'll look around then.
If you could give me, I really feel like that you wouldn't even need to notice this. You wouldn't even need a thing to notice this. You can. There is quite a lot of bullshit going on. There's a cacophony of the sounds of battle coming from a room maybe around the corner here. As soon as you open up the door, it's very noticeable.
Alrighty then. And Riki kind of begrudgingly walks into the room where the combat is to see what's going on.
If I recall from last game, you all kicked the door in.
I indeed fucking Sparta kicked that door in.
So Riki comes in at the very tail end to see a scene. Basically, Riki rounds the corner and sees a door that is slightly off its hinges as he can see Resh Balar now covered in gore and viscera as that his 2 daggers have vertically, I don't want to say decapitated, but vertically sliced through the top half of is that a mummy? Yeah, I think it's a mummy, is what your brain kind of says. The top half of a mummy's face. And besides that, Ferris has loosed a volley of arrows into a creature who, for but a moment, appears as one of the most beautiful gossamer beings that you've ever witnessed. And then its body turns to stone and dust.
Hey, there's murder going on and nobody told me. Hey, the fuck?
I left you a note.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, you said you were going to go. You said you were going to go pick up some milk, not fucking.
Again, I left you a note, and you just see Elion with their hands, like essentially, like through essence electrified, like you've seen them have before, on this roly-poly dude just crackling all over that guy's skin.
Oh, yeah. You probably didn't notice this because it wasn't as interesting, but there is a fat man that... Ferris, were you using him as a stool or a mount to keep your bow steady?
I he tried to run away, so I kicked him down. Then he tried to run away again, so I very aggressively pushed him to Elion.
Yes, that's right. So yes, there's a roly-poly man with the symbol of the guild on his shirt. With Elion standing over him with, what looks like a charged Hadouken ready to go right in this guy's face.
Man, you look like you had about 20 too many falafels, my man. You all right?
Are you talking to Elion, or are you talking
No,
to
the fat guy who's from the guild.
I just wanted to make sure. Real quick, if you don't mind, could you actually give me another, let's say, perception and occult roll? Because this would actually be something that you might know about.
Give me 1 minute. Perception, occult. Is this related to exorcism in any way?
No, it's actually related to the Immaculate Philosophy.
4 successes.
So, one of the things that you do notice about the corpse that Resh Bolar has made, well, at least the part of the corpse that he cut off, is on the forehead of this thing is a bleeding mark that looks like a circle with a line through it that then fills in the bottom half of it. It's bleeding, but it has this mark that you, as someone who trained even briefly with Immaculate Monks, would know as the symbol of the anathema.
Uh-oh. That ain't no good.
It most certainly isn't. Anathema are known to cause many problems.
Yeah, but that ain't no good was in character also.
Like, ain't no good that we killed it, or...
No, that's probably very good. That's probably very good. No. But I'm more of a collective that ain't no good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's, yeah. I'm gonna go check on that girl that just tried to get her soul stolen and then witnessed us murder things. Like, they're probably not doing all right. I'm gonna go check on them.
Your group tends to make a lot of noise, so it's no surprise that you missed the small child, and well, not the small child, the girl and the roly-poly man in the course of seeing an anathema corpse and a fae getting murdered. Quite the date, quite the adventure they had without you.
So, are there any actual like people who you all fucking slaughtered? Because if we gotta go bury a body, we should probably go do it now before those goody two shoe authorities get here or whatever.
I don't think Elion's decided whether or not they're gonna kill him yet, but that's a later problem.
Divine, as far as you're concerned about the small child, I believe, she is in a kind of stunned silence as she has watched all this. She's about done growing. She's at a good 5 foot and some inches. She's not as I've explained before. She's not a little girl, but she's certainly not an adult yet.
Right. It's that weird territory of adult dragon bloods are 100 years old.
Oh, if she's a dragon blooded, you'd be very surprised. She doesn't have any of the usual markings on her.
Right. It's one of those, not everybody we'd come across as a dragon blood. Divine's just gonna kind of kneel in front of her and with a soft voice just be like, "Hey, you're safe now. I know you're not okay. Do you want to get out of here?"
So just to note too, Ferris is at bonfire and Elion is glowing right now.
Elion, you're a water aspect, correct?
Yeah. I think I mentioned, but it might have been off of the recording, what my water stuff was doing. Basically, I have little eyeballs that have opened up kind of around me, and there's water just slowly seeping out of them.
Good to know. Oh, yes. The other thing that you probably noticed, since that Ferris is at Bonfire right now, there are vines and plants that are growing around, as that the wood aspect powers are going a little wild here.
Also, the like vines and like stuff in Ferris's hair have grown a little bit longer as well, and the bark on her skin a little darker.
You get a little hot in the collar there, huh, Alien? You all right there? You everything okay, friendo? Getting a little upset?
I seem to not be, as bad as you were. I just decided to use a different method. And yeah.
Interesting.
I think you would agree if you knew what he was doing to people around here. And Elian just looks down at Daniq Sora. That's still just... Elian still got their hands on each of his shoulders and just letting... Because I've got I have not only the little glowing thing around me, I've got my glowing animal banner, but plus that other ability that makes him take like weird stuff every so often.
Oh, there's no way for him to take any kind of initiative damage from this. He's so low on initiative, he'll never get a chance to go.
I would like to, if I may, roll a medicine roll to assess to see if the girl is not necessarily just physically hurt, but also like mental trauma, like panic attack or any other like mental things that I can try to help with. I'm assuming she is not okay.
Please go ahead.
And medicine is intelligence, yes?
Yes. In this case, it would. Yes. In this case, it would be intelligence. Sorry.
It never fails. I can never make a medicine roll, guys. God damn it! It's one success.
She looks shaken up, but nothing seems off about how shaken that she is. She did just watch two people get, at least one person get murdered, and if your friends are to be believed, something was trying to eat her soul.
When you say eat someone's soul being eaten, knowing what I know, is that like pretty bad? Like naturally it's pretty bad, but like that's not. What does that mean? Can you give me more information about what that means?
If your soul is eaten, it doesn't return to the cycle of reincarnation, according to the Immaculate Philosophy. And if it doesn't do that, then they can never be reborn.
So what do you guys need me to do now? Obviously I missed the fireworks, but I'm all rested up, I reckon.
You want to clear anybody who doesn't work here out of the building for me?
Yeah, I can do that. Hey, give me 1 second. I'm gonna squat down to the little girl, not to the little girl, but to the girl. It might be a little loud outside for a second, but nothing's wrong. I promise. Okay, don't be worried about it. It'll be okay. I'm gonna stand back up and walk outside and close the door. Take a big deep breath in, and then with my loudest presence voice, I'm gonna yell, "Y'all get the fuck out of here now!" And I'd like to roll presence if I may.
You absolutely may, and I'll even give you an extra 2 dice for that.
Nice. 3 successes.
You see, as you step outside, you see a few people who, halfway dressed, peek out the window and see what's going on. And most of them, upon seeing you can see and probably hear a few going, "Oh shit." And like there's a few sounds that are very obvious as that people are tripping over themselves. And very quickly, anyone who you'd say is probably more has less of a spine than someone who can be in organized crime has vacated the building. So these people who more or less are spineless have exited the building. Back inside, as you're doing that, I believe that we had a roly-poly fat man with a Hadoken ready to go near his face.
It's more Elion's just... You know how when somebody comes up behind you and just puts their hands on both sides of your shoulders, like right up there, and it's just like that nice firm grip that's kind of like intimidating?
Like Lenny when he was trying to intimidate someone for getting too close to the girls.
Yeah. It just go up and just like that nice firm grip, but there just happens to be crackling essence coming off of it. That's what's going on right now. More of an intimidation factor.
Oh, he is very much intimidated. You can tell, especially considering the small puddle that's below him.
Gross. That is not how you water the plants.
Not at all. So Elion's just gonna look to Divine, to Ferris, and back down to Sora. So, do you have a good reason why we should just let you live? So,
Well, I can I can get you money. I can get you whatever you need.
if we were to let you go, big if, would you ever do anything like this again?
No, of course not. I would never do anything like this again.
What guarantee do we have that we can take your word for it?
Well, I'm an upstanding member of the guild.
Oh, see...
Can I come back in during this point?
Give it just a moment. I'm sure he's going to say something even worse to incriminate himself.
Sounds good.
Oh, see, you use the word upstanding and guild in the same breath. That was a mistake. As far as I'm concerned, there's very few, if any, upstanding people in the guild.
He has a look of terror on his face. You're sounding quite terrifying, if I'm being honest.
Talking in a normal level tone, that's all. It's not like I'm trying to use a disappointing parent voice or anything like that.
Oh no! It's definitely, I think, the normal level tone that's just slightly away from the microphone right now. That's doing it. It has a very threatening aura to it.
Alien's resting state is pretty threatening, and also you have eyes coming out of your skin that are weeping water constantly.
They're not on my skin. They're kind of just like around me. Just kind of like wavering around me and slightly weeping water. It gets worse if
That almost makes it worse.
It just gets worse if I go further. If I spend more essence, it gets much worse. Elion's gonna look to Divine. Do you have an idea? Because I'm wavering back and forth between options right now.
Well, I had my fun with the guild, so if you got options you're weighing, if I had my choice, I'd wrap his fat ass up like it's a present, drop him off at Factor Tanos's doorstep, and just leave a letter saying, hey, you lost something in our territory. Maybe take some vital parts so that we can make sure he keeps his promise.
Those are viable options. Mutilation is an option. Not one that I favor, but it is an option. I also don't think you should be a factor anymore.
Well, that's not for you to decide.
So who is it for to decide? Who needs to know what you've been doing here so that you're no longer a factor? In any situation.
We can decide real quick. You can resign or we can decide for you. You just won't be a factor, nor will you be alive.
I feel like you guys are trying to convince him to betray some of his character.
In grand scheme of things, to be transparent out of character, I want him to step down as a factor so I can put someone, namely my ally, closer to that position.
I think that sounds like you guys are trying to instill an intimacy in him, probably something along the lines of making sure that he stays alive.
It's one of those, what's more valuable, your title and your prestige or your life?
Well, I mean, you are talking to someone who values money over the suffering of others, so...
That includes the suffering of himself.
I'd say that if you want him to do this, this would be a... trying to look up the exact term for it. This would be a persuade action.
Okay, what do I need to do for persuade then? I bet you it's going to be stats I'm not good at.
Well, I mean, your whole crew is here, so I'm sure that there's someone who's a little better at it than you that could also help.
I think I've got this. Let's what do you say? You let me and Daniq here have a little bit of a one-on-one conversation, Elian. I promise. Well, no, I can't make that promise. I can't promise I'll keep them in one piece, but I think I can convince him that, maybe the guild's not where his best interest lies.
Am I still corralling people out of the building?
I'd say that you've probably gotten here by now.
What are we promising? What are we breaking? Huh?
Just trying to talk Factor Daniq Sora out of his current entitlement because, it's not really.
Oh, yeah. While we're on that topic, tell me what he did. Something about souls getting taken out and anathemas?
So, basically, you know what a brothel is. He has been taking women that are not really old enough to be here or borderline and enlisting them in here, as well as helping to create false contracts that are indenturing them to this life with no way to get out of it.
Oh. Hey, Brendan. Would you consider this man someone who's an advocate for slavery?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Neat. Oh, okay. Well, first things first. I want to walk over and crouch next to the guy. Hey there, buddy. Brendan, you're aware of how the Mark of the Maiden thing works, right?
Of course, I made it.
Okay, excellent. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if that was on board or not. Now, I'm going to look back to Elian. Let's go do one thing, and then I'll let you take it from here. Now, what's your name, buddy?
Do you need me to let him go?
Nah, this is fine. He's like laying down, right?
Oh, yes.
Just roll him over on his back for me, would you?
Is he? Because I imagined he was still standing up while Elian was holding him.
He is wherever that you all need him to be. He does not have the willpower to fight you on the planes of combat, nor the physique.
Okay, so we'll say he's kneeling. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can do that. Or Elion can just make him kneel, just that slow bringing down to his knees.
Oh, I like that much better. You make him kneel.
Okay, yeah. What's your name, Pally?
He looks up to you. Or no, you said that you come down to his level, right?
Yeah, I'm right in his face.
He looks you over, and there is a very obvious and quick recognition of who that you are. Guild Factor Daniq Sora, you simple criminal.
Oh, well, Mr. Daniq Sora, what's neat about human beings?
I imagine you're going to tell me.
I'm going to put a hand on his stomach. Yeah, you see, even through all this fat you got around here, I'm going to feel like in his torso, you still got ribs. And I'm going to try to find ribs in his torso.
It takes a little bit moving through the pudge, but you managed to do it.
Brendan, I have medicine 4 and a specialization in bones. I'd like to drive a thumb right in between 2 ribs and break one of his ribs. So I'd like to drive a thumb in between the intercostal space between 2 ribs and then push up and crack one of his ribs.
All right, that sounds like a strength and medicine roll. Obviously, you're getting the specialty for bones, so that'll give you a total of 10 dice, I believe, since you have medicine 4.
Yeah.
And I'll also give you an extra 2 dice for the description.
5 successes. Yeah. Now you have 1 less rib.
Oh no!
Now they could
Why
tell
would
me.
you do this?
I'm gonna smack him when he talks
Why
to
would
me.
you do this?
I'm gonna smack him as soon as he starts talking. Now, you talk when you talk to. When I ask you a question, you'll answer it. You hear me? Now, they can tell me exactly what you were doing, but I would like you to tell me exactly what you did. I'm gonna put a thumb underneath the rib on the other side.
I was just Using...
I'm gonna put more pressure as he says gist. Don't play with words. Speak plainly now.
I was using my money to get what I wanted.
Okay, you seem like a swell guy. I'm gonna give you one freebie. Don't bullshit me again. What did you do to that girl over there?
Do you want the list or what we were trying to do tonight?
The list is good.
I don't think we have time for a list of everything.
You know what? You're right. I'm getting a little upset. I'm sorry. This is your call, Alien. But you know how I feel about it. And you know how, well, maybe you don't know. Yeah, I got a pretty powerful friend who would be pretty good with watching this guy, not be breathing anymore.
Hey, Tyler, question for you out of character.
Yes.
Are you being cruel to the man for the sake of it because, you can? Or are
No, not for the sake of it at all. Strictly because this is a slaver who imprisons people, and I want information about what he was trying to do specifically.
Okay, I just needed that to be,
Yes. And I will also say, out of character, that was, I'm not going to really go any more into that roleplay because, no one really wants to hear me torturing a guy, and I don't really want to put that out there. So I'd like to move on from that.
The reason this is going to sound bad, but, I was okay with it. The reason I'm asking specifically is because I have an intimacy...
Yeah.
...for cruelty for the sake of it is wrong. So I wanted to verify with you first.
It is certainly it's hard to say that it's justified cruelty, because I don't think that's ever justified, but it's certainly for a reason. It's not just because I don't like him.
Fair. So, going back in character, you're putting the screws on, so to speak, on this man, and while that he might be spineless, he certainly wasn't ribless. He tells you what that he was doing after you threaten him with the second rib. Listen, we were just going to... She was a loose thread. I needed to get rid of it after what you did to Thanos. He's got me in my in his sights. Just let me go and I'll leave Chiaroscuro. I will never bother you guys again.
Ricky's going to stand up and just look to Alien. I'm sticking my nose where it don't belong. This is y'all's business. I just had to, get that out of my system, you know what I mean? But up to you.
If you're going to leave here, what's to stop you from going somewhere else and starting this up? You being a part of the guild makes you think you have free reign to do this. My place of residence is safe, but what about everywhere else?
Wherever the guild goes, this kind of stuff follows. I'm just doing a job.
And that's a problem with something like this as a job. So Elion's actually... Is Resh Balar still here?
Oh, he most certainly is. He's been leaning up against the cracked wooden door, just cleaning off his knives and looking at the corpses, a little unnerved, but ready to jump in if he needs to.
So Elion's going to look to pretty much kind of their leader, I guess is the best way to put it, like the boss's boss's boss, and say to him, if we were to do something, it might reflect poorly on you since you are in charge, essentially. Do you have an opinion on that?
He thinks about it for a moment and then looks to the little roly-poly man and then back to Elian and just goes, and just kind of shrugs and goes, we've sent factors like him back to the guild headquarters with a few less toes and digits before. Killing him might cause problem. Killing him here and now might cause problems for us later down the road. But taking payment for all the pain that he's caused, that's a different story.
Divine, you said you might have methods.
I mean, I don't think my methods can do much more than Ricky's, but...
How are you going to fit all that into a box?
Oh, we were going to just leave him naked and tie him up and leave him on the street.
Okay. That works too, I guess.
We aren't hiding his shame.
He's already shirtless right now. There's not much to the imagination anymore. At this point, I just want to get her home. That was part of my job. Him, I prefer her not be a factor anymore. But that's just me.
Hey, what do you need to be a factor, by the way? Like, what's the factor's job? I'm gonna look to Rush Balar.
Factors are usually the people who manage an entire section of the guild. They're more like they're very similar to the captains, or even one of the bigger ones like Tanos is probably similar to the matriarch of your clan.
But they do a lot of what do they need to do their job? Like, they talk a lot, use their hands a lot. What do they do?
Oh, well, since the guild's business, talking's kind of necessary.
It's gonna take his whole jawbone.
No, but a collapsed larynx can take a while. A collapsed larynx can take a while to heal.
This is your last chance, Sora. You can either, resign, or you've seen what Riki can do. We'll just, leave the rest to your imagination. Is staying in the guild with your buddies there really worth what's about to happen to you? And then I would like to... I'd have to know his tie to one of the characters in the guild.
Tanos.
Yeah. Can I spend 4 motes to use loyalty reading meditation to read their, pretty much read Sora based on his fear of Riki as to, what his intimacy towards Tanos is, or tie towards Tanos is.
So you're just kind of taking a guess that he has some kind of emotional tie to Tanos.
Pretty much I want to use that and then combo it onto brother against brother insinuation to break down his tie to, I'm assuming he's got a tie to Tanos, or else he wouldn't be listening, or he would be more hesitant to listen when Tanos says tie up your loose ends.
If you want to roll to see if you can suss out what that his intimacy is towards Tanos, and then if you can figure that out, I would totally let you use brother against brother, assuming that he has a tie to Tanos.
Yeah. And is he Churrascurin?
He is, in fact.
So I get that specialty on socialize. And then 3 from peripheral, and then I'd like to use 2 motes to give 2 auto successes to the socialize roll from my personal. So 4 motes. Sorry, 4 motes.
So you said you got 2 auto successes?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
And that is charisma and socialize, right?
Yep. Wait, no, this is to try and read it, to read him, right?
Yeah, so perception.
It is a read intentions roll, which is perception and socialize.
So that's 8 successes.
Wow, just kicking his ass there. You had to beat his guile of 3 there. With 8 successes, you are able to find that he does have a major emotional tie of... trying to think of how to phrase this, but a major emotional tie of jealousy, maybe, or I'd actually say probably fear, because Tanos is technically a higher rank than him.
Now look, here's what's going to happen. We're going to take your pennies, and we're going to take your pounds, and then we're going to tie you up and put a nice little bow on your oily little head and drop you off right in front of Tanos' office. I'm going to leave him a little note letting him know that we got a confession out of you, telling us exactly what you've been doing and how these tied up loose ends are not quite tied up, and they're going to stay frayed as long as you're a part of the guild. So, this is going to hurt. But this is your last chance to cooperate. And then use brother against brother to destroy his relationship with Thanos. Or weaken a positive tie to a character. Yeah. And that's an instill roll.
All right, and that's against his resolve, which is a 4.
And he can't use intimacies towards the culture group to bolster the resolve.
Oh, well, there go all of his intimacies to boost that. Yeah, so he can't boost that at all because all of his intimacies that could have boosted that are all things related to the guild, which is part of the same culture. I'll give you 2 extra dice for the for how do you talk to him.
And
Let's
that
see what you can do.
Charisma and socialize, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And 9's double, so that's 5, 6.
You having talked to him like this, he more or less loses faith that Thanos can help him. He's in a situation that he can't possibly come out of on the other end, if at all. He looks to you all and then looks to Riki, who he notices the mark on him, and there is a sudden realization and fear in him before he looks to Elian and then the rest of them, and finally back to Divine, and he just says, let me leave, and I'll go back to Nexus, and I'll never leave Nexus for the rest of my life. I'll be a middle manager somewhere for the guild, and I won't do anything else like this.
Divine's gonna look over his shoulder to Elian. How's that sound to you?
What's my way to tell if he's fucking lying to me or not?
Perception and socialize is a read intentions roll.
Cool, give me a second, 'cause I think I have a socialize charm.
I'd like to think that during all of this, Farrah's just trying to, like, gather herself and, like, not just look like she's a raging, like, bonfire monster.
No, don't sell yourself short. You are most certainly a raging bonfire monster right now.
She can still try to be a little modest, like, oh, maybe like tuck these vines back into my hair.
Just own it.
So Elion has been standing behind Sora at this point, just holding onto his shoulders, even while everybody's been just doing all this stuff. They're going to spin him around very quickly, hold his shoulders again, go almost nose to nose with him. So you are going to return to Nexus, take a middle management job for the guild, and never do anything like this again? Promise? You're not lying to me. I've already told you I don't like liars.
He looks to you with fear in his eyes, and he says, yeah, I promise.
Okay, so he says perception and socialize?
Yeah, I will give you an extra 2 dice for that stunt, for how that you, like, tried to figure out if he was lying or not. His guile is currently well, you beat it. It was currently a 3, but you definitely beat it there. Elian, you notice something. Maybe it's your tuned investigative brain. Maybe it's the essence coursing through you, making your blood boil a little bit harder and making yourself more in tune with the waves around here. Maybe it's just the really bad way that he smells. But this fucking asshole is lying to you right to your face.
Oh, that was the wrong decision.
Thank you all for taking the time to enjoy our show. If you liked what you heard, why not give us a follow on Twitter for more updates as to when we'll be releasing episodes. You can also give us a like or review on your podcast app of choice. Just a few quick button clicks and you can help us defeat the dreaded algorithm boss. The theme song for this game was Main Theme by Alexander Nakarada, copyright 2019, used under a Creative Commons license. And hey, for making it this far, I saw that cool thing you did, so have some stunt dice. The recording has begun. If everyone wants to sound off, just make sure you're all here.
Mobius 1 reporting in.
A moment of silence for future Brendan.
Okay, well, I know that Christina and Britt are there, so...
But are we really?
I mean, if you guys want to just T-pose for dominance and just let me play with Cody and Tyler, like, I'm not going to stop you. Like, that's your decision. I'm just going to be a little hurt.
You're really gonna try and guilt me? Have you not learned that's not the route to go?
Oh no, that totally worked on me.
Who said that you were my target, Christina? I know how to deal with you, Christina. I bribe you. I got you cannolis.
She is smiling as she has a mouthful of cannoli.
Fantastic. And you almost made me burp on microphone. I just wanted to make sure I was pronouncing that right.
Tomato. I say Euro, but I don't judge people. That's not my place.
Euro, let me think of a name. I wasn't expecting the
I'm sorry.
falafel merchant.
You can just say insert name here. I'm just trying to make a point.
The name's Cabbage.
He calls himself as I said, the place is surprisingly busy at the moment. They are more or less sorry, I'm kind of like tripping over my words here.
To give you an idea, Ferris is at Bonfire and Elion's at Glowing, so there's a lot of bullshit going on.
And remind me, who got the killing blow on the other enemy?
I think Ferris got it.
It might have been what caused me to go Bonfire. No, it might have been Elian. I think it was Elian. I think Elian got one and Resh Balar got the other one.
I was going after the Madam because I wanted to deal with the sorceress threat.
Then it was Ferris that got the other one.
Now, presence is wits, correct?
In this case, presence would be your charisma or manipulation, which
charisma.
That's what I was thinking.
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I set on my headset as I was sitting back down. Yikes. Sorry, go ahead. Is this the same fat guy?
It is not the same fat guy.
Okay, I was concerned. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I only have so many fat guy voices.
That's fine. I just wanted... it was a little bit different, but it was just close enough that I needed to make sure.
Britt says she's not interpretive dancing again.
Sorry, did you just say you have a specialization in bones?
Bone setting, yes.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Before you stunt that or anything, let me go and refill my coffee. Actually, I'll do that during the break because we're going to have to offload soon.
All right.
All right. So with that, we're gonna offload.
Perfect cliffhanger. Name of this episode: The Gang Bullies a Fat Kid.
Fucking kill him.
No, the gang bully's a liar. And literally, I have an intimacy as Elion that says, lies are not worth my breath or brain space.
Oh, buddy. Just let me get the girl out of there before we commit another murder.
Like, Elion doesn't lie. And they don't have time for everyone else to lie to them either.